We'd like to thank you for following Energy Efficiency Makeover 2011. As we come to the close of week 4, we have a lot to report. We'd also like to again thank all our sponsors who helped make this happen. This week we received the energy efficient windows from Harry G. Barr out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. And the guys were very busy putting those in. We'll talk about those more in detail in just a minute. The roofers were in town this week, and they're a local vendor that agreed to participate in Makeover 2011. The shingles came from a local supplier, F.L. Davis, out of Heber Springs, and we'd like to thank them for the product. We like to make sure that since we've invested a lot of dollars into the project, that the dwelling is protected, and we certainly don't want a leaky roof after all of these improvements are made. Currently, Wilco Siding and Gutters from Hopewell, Arkansas are on the project site, and they're installing a foam back vinyl siding over the existing siding on the makeover house. And this foam back siding will add additional thermal protection for the project, and that should be completed next week. Our makeover crew also installed the louvered door at the mechanical room where the geothermal heat pump is located. That will allow the return air to hit the return grill properly, and then we can have proper air distribution through the house. You may recall a couple of the guys coming through the sheetrock in the hallway. We had a foot dangling one of those days, but everybody was all right, nobody was hurt. We actually installed the repair piece, and all the mudding and taping that takes place during that repair process is underway, and that should be completed soon as well. Even though the Harry G. Barr weather bar windows are very energy efficient, if they're not installed properly, then we really haven't gained the efficiency we're looking for. So when a person changes an existing window, you have to be mindful that as you remove the old window, the hole in the house now has to be prepared for the new window. And our crew had to cut some siding away from the existing dwelling, install some shims, and then before the window went in, they actually applied some silicone caulking to the back flange of the window, and then inserted the window into the hole in the wall. And then once it was installed, we came back and even put some more silicone insulation, and then applied a rubberized weatherization tape around the frame to seal out all of the unwanted air infiltration. So we're going to show you how we did that right now. You may recall that our Makeover 2011 house had original windows. The windows were inefficient. Even though they were double pane, all the gas had leaked out, the thickness of the glass was very thin, and the frames were aluminum, allowing both heat gain and heat loss into the house. However, the windows provided by Harry G. Barr are weather bar windows. They're very energy efficient, have vinyl frames, low-E glass, and we're going to talk about that in detail a little bit later. However, replacing a window can be very difficult, and sometimes you have to put a shim into the process to allow the window to adapt to the trim work inside, and then also be flush with the siding outside. And that's what the guys had to do. They had to add a trim piece, but before they did, they put some silicone caulk behind the trim piece to seal out any air infiltration, and then applied it to the flange of the window as well. And then we've come along the outer edge of the shim as well and put caulking and sealant. But to top it all off, we're using a new product, and this is made by DuPont, and it has a rubberized surface on the back side of it. And the way we completely seal all the air out of the window is to put this flashing system beside the window. It sticks to the flange of the window and also to the siding, and it's pliant enough that it will fold around any cracks or crevices around the window. And once this is done, we have an airtight seal around the windows. That's all there is to it. When it comes to energy efficiency improvements, one of the areas that we look at oftentimes last are windows. One of the first places that heat comes into your house is through the ceiling, through the attic. So we always address that first by adding insulation. One of the last things we do are change windows. And you'll see that this particular window is a vinyl window which slows down heat gain and heat loss in the winter. There's two values that we look at when it comes to windows. One is the U factor, and you'll see here that that is a 0.3. U factor is the inverse of R value. So the lower the number, the higher the R value the window is. And the solar heat gain coefficient is a 0.25, and the lower the number, the better. And in the south, we want both of these numbers to be very low. You'll notice this window, manufactured by Harry G. Barr out of Fort Smith, Arkansas, is ENERGY STAR approved. And Harry G. Barr is also a member of the National Fenestration Rating Council. So we know that this sticker is accurate and that the values within the window are accurate as well. We highly suggest or recommend, when you're looking at replacement windows, if it does not have the NFRC label on it, you might want to question your manufacturer to make sure it is an approved window. So check back with us. We're hoping to complete the project in the next week or 10 days, and we'll have more to report to you at the end of next week.